Welcome to These Are Words. This week, I'm quitting the podcast because a cruel and horrible prank was played on me yesterday.
Oh, that's what you meant.
By my friends.
Air quotes for the podcast
Air quotes
listeners.
for friends. I hate you guys. I know we've already talked about this between the three of us ad nauseum.
Go ahead and tell the audience. They'll be interested.
Oh, God. But yesterday at work, while I was being productive as a contributing member to society and to those around me in my
Debatable.
life. Maybe later. Logan texted Asher and I claiming that he had some video of our podcast.
No, it was the video from last week.
I know.
But before you guys started recording, where the video was recording, but Asher lopped off that part in the actual podcast.
You claimed that we said things about you that were unkind.
Well, you did.
We didn't.
You did.
No, we didn't.
I'm pretty sure I did.
You did. Both of you did.
Definitely not.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't.
But it was true.
Right.
Whatever. Either way, Logan took this way too far, like straight up Winston Bishop style from New Girl, like releasing a badger into the ceiling of Cece's wedding. My favorite episode.
What niche joke.
I know.
That's what I think of when I think about pranks is Winston.
All right. So
Anyways.
Today we're going to talk about
No,
really...
keep going.
Logan let this drag on way too far. I'm trying to do things at work.
You didn't tell them what my text said. It was like, I saw that you guys were making fun of me. I won't be there again tomorrow. I need to think through if I want to continue the podcast.
Yeah. And even though
I say keep thinking, maybe after today we can...
Just go ahead.
We got a lot of positive feedback on last week's episode.
The last 10 minutes can be a reevaluation and sit in on our business meetings.
Anyways, even though I knew for sure I didn't say anything mean,
He did.
I didn't. It was still I couldn't tell if you were being serious or not, and then you just wouldn't tell me. I kept texting you, spam texting you. And I was also texting Asher because we were both confused, or so I thought.
And I was texting back 2-word answers like, man, I just so know. That's 5 words. Or oh no. Or
You said this. You said something like, "This is bad," and I was
this
like,
is bad.
What did we? I kept asking you, "What did we say? What did we say?" And you just wouldn't reply, which isn't super unusual because I know you're at work and you're doing things. So this whole scenario is completely plausible. And then Logan.
He means possible.
No, I meant what I said.
What happens that
Imperative.
Lance doesn't know about, Asher calls me immediately after I send the text. and he goes, I open the phone, answer the phone and said,
But
I
you
said,
open
hey,
the phone.
Flip
What are you
open
in,
your
you in
Kyocera.
Saved by the Bell or you Zach Morris?
yeah.
Hold on, guys.
Time out.
So
Holding the bottom of it. Yes? No, I was just joking.
So Asher calls me and I say, hey, and he goes, I can't tell if you're being serious. And I said, just like I can't tell when you're being serious.
Basically, now you know how it feels.
Yeah. And then he goes, was it my idea or
Made
your
me
idea
so proud.
to not tell Lance and just drag it on?
Don't tell me. I don't want to know whose idea it was.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I already hate both of you. I don't want to make it worse.
We agreed that we would team up and let it go.
Great.
And so then Lance is in a meeting and you can go from there.
Yeah, so I'm in a meeting where I can't leave. I'm actually involved in this conversation that's supposed to be happening, and all of this is happening on my phone.
Sounds like how a meeting goes usually.
Anyways,
I'm extra snark today.
this went on for 3 or 4 hours.
No.
It wasn't that long. but
Hours.
It was a
2.
couple of hours because Logan and I were supposed to talk in person because he was letting this go on too long, and we didn't get the chance.
I couldn't tell you over text.
But then you walked upstairs because we were about to go
And then we
talk
could
it
never
out.
get
But you
alone.
hugged me immediately, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on now.
Because I knew you were going to be mad.
And then I was like, okay, maybe he's not really that pissed, but he's kind of pissed.
I walked straight up to him and just all my weight, hugged him and just ragdolled.
And Lance, how did that make you feel?
Terribly confused.
This is our new mediation podcast where I help Logan and Lance's friendship.
It needs it.
Anyways, then Logan is like, well, I guess we need to talk about this real quick. And it was just all a joke.
No.
That's what you said.
I said, yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk about this. And we're just walking down the hall. And I was like, you know how it felt whenever Asher told us at the first week of the podcast that he was a huge hockey fan?
Okay, hold on just a second. That has no consequence in my mind.
He's right.
Just
has
so
no
you
consequence in my mind.
I felt like it did. I was like, man, this is going to hurt my heart a little bit to troll Lance this hard, but it's worth it. Just so you know what I'm thinking.
I said that.
We can't make it through one intro.
I said that.
Can't get to one intro before 10 minutes.
I said that and was like, so that's what I did. So it was all a joke. And then Lance, I could feel the heat like radiate off of Lance's body. He got a fever in that moment.
I was actually mad.
The Miami Dolphins
I
heat.
really didn't think this was funny, like at all.
It was hilarious.
Anyways, I would like to refer us now to God's word that I was reading this morning. And it says in Proverbs, just as damaging as a madman shooting a deadly weapon is someone who lies to a friend and then says, I was only joking. I couldn't have found that verse if I wanted to. It just happened to be there today on the Bible reading plan.
Whoa.
So just stew on that.
I'm a madman.
Shooting a deadly weapon.
I think Lance is the mad man. You were pretty mad.
I'm not shooting a deadly weapon or lying to my friends, though.
I'm glad you're not.
Yeah, well.
So we've got the sweetest ever question of the day coming up.
I think Lance is actually mad.
The sweetest ever question of the day. And then TNVKY football game is under the sports section, and I can't wait to figure
Tennessee,
out.
Kentucky.
Well, okay. I was
Spoiler alert.
I was gonna leave everyone in suspense. Like, what does this mean? What are these letters? This is some lost, like we're down in the vault trying to get out kind of thing, which I'm pretty sure is how it happened on the show.
The breakout game?
Hey, by the way, I really wish we had started with this, but this is episode 13, and Halloween is tomorrow.
Tuesday.
No, when it comes out, it will be tomorrow.
Oh.
Why do I do this? Why?
Look, it's not a sham.
So we're going to be...
You can't look at where the camera used to be. You got to look at the camera now. You just did a Jim Halpert face to nothing.
I'm looking at the cereal boxes. And then we're going to talk about how Christians should treat Halloween. And I love that. I didn't write this down, but somebody used the word treat. How should we treat Halloween? Maybe we should.
I cannot claim credit for that. I did write it.
We tricked you yesterday, and now we're going to treat
you.
We're going to
There's nothing you could do to make it better.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try.
I'm convinced in my head that there's nothing to fix. So.
All right.
Unless you have a time machine.
Question of the day, people, and we want to hear from you. I'm done mediating.
Does our relationship
You're both terrible people.
Some work.
You're the worst. I'm the best. What's your favorite candy?
Lance, you can't just shrug to that.
Logan's favorite candy is obviously Pop-Tarts.
It's up there.
Okay, I'll go first. I love and also hate Butterfingers because they're so good. But then I can taste them for the next hour. They're just stuck in my teeth, forming new cavities for who knows how long. And also Reese's. Reese's are great, but you know, there are like 3 different kinds, and then there's the pieces. There's like the normal size, the fun size. I think fun size are the best because I like a little more chocolate.
They are the best.
A little more chocolate than peanut butter with those. No, wait. A little more peanut butter than chocolate. I'm getting confused.
But they are the best.
I am not a huge chocolate fan.
Wait, I just wanted to make sure. Are you sure you're done moaning 10 minutes into the podcast?
No.
Okay.
I'm still upset about it.
Okay, cool.
I'm not a huge chocolate fan, like across the board. There are like a few small exceptions, but even then, like I can't eat like a lot of it because it really hurts my stomach. So
did you not hang out with me last night because of me?
No.
Cool.
I didn't hang out with you last night because I had to go to this grocery store, and then I didn't want to drive after that.
Okay, I get that. Just making sure.
Lactose intolerant you are?
I don't think I'm allergic to it. I've never really liked it. I didn't like it when I was a kid either.
You didn't like chocolate when you were a kid?
No. I really don't eat candy very often, but I will eat the devil out of some Sour Patch Kids.
Okay. I was going to make sure you're going to say that.
Yeah.
No matter what you said your favorite candy was, I was going to tell
It's Sour
you
Patch.
were wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing in this world I love more than Sour Patch. And specifically, I like the extreme kind.
Oh, really?
Extreme
That's
sour.
like the extra sour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the
great.
watermelons?
I do love the watermelons.
I like the watermelons. All
but,
right.
but it's just one flavor. Like
Right.
I like...
I like the difference.
Yeah, I like to have the variety. Also, adding the blue Sour Patch Kid was a big success for me.
Yes,
Loved the blue
absolutely.
one.
Blues and yellows together.
Blue and yellow together is great.
Blue raspberry.
Red used to be my favorite until they made the blue.
Red is horrible. I don't eat the reds.
I know. That's why I like whenever you get Sour Patch Kids because I get my favorite flavor.
If I wanted to eat whatever the flavor that is, I'd rather just eat poop.
What?
They seriously taste horrible. I don't understand
don't.
what that flavor is.
No, they don't.
Allegedly, fruit punch. I've had fruit punch. It's also terrible, but that flavor is worse than actual fruit punch.
So...
Anything sour is my favorite. So
Yeah. Well, I was going to say that as far as Sour Patch Kids go, they like the variety and flavor. I like all the flavors about the same. Like I have like blue and red are like a little bit more than
Green's
the rest.
the best.
But all of them are
Like
great.
vanilla.
Green is good.
It's the best.
No.
It's the best.
my order is yellow, green, blue, orange, red.
Blue, red, green, yellow, orange.
Green, 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 blue and yellow together, and the other ones.
That's solid. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
You know what's great? Haribo sour gummy bears.
Never had those.
Phenomenal.
Never had them.
But
Do you like gummy bears? Okay, then you wouldn't like them.
I like gummy bears.
Okay, then try the sour gummy bears.
You like Sour Patch and not gummy bears?
Yeah,
Different consistency.
That's interesting.
but it's not the consistency. It's definitely the flavor. I think that gummy bears taste like
Plastic.
nothing. Yeah, it just tastes like sugar and melted cardboard. I don't know. Something
It's kind
terrible.
of what it is.
Probably.
It's awful.
Do I need to? Is this better?
It's all pretty bad. So, like, whatever you can do to try.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just trying is.
I just
the
want
best.
you to try.
Gotcha.
I'm John Myers. This is my trio.
So, your
I don't know what your
Lance,
problem
on
is.
this Evernote, your face is on it in the corner.
The coroner.
Corner.
I get it. It's Halloween. The coroner.
I think that it's just
It's a
because
mystery.
I think it's because
Who's gonna
you
die?
shared the note with me, and that's your profile picture for Evernote.
Man, we should have done a podcast, Murder Mystery. We'll do that one day.
Neat.
Anyway, what are you going to be for Halloween?
I've not done my
A Dolphins fan? Nobody caught my Miami Dolphins Heat statement earlier.
I didn't catch it.
Really getting my sentence types confused. Interrogative, imperative. There we go. Got them all.
So, favorite candy
Predicate.
depends. I'm
Subject.
gonna answer regardless.
Is
of what
there
you're
a
talking
candy?
about.
Is there a candy that you eat and you have to wear Depends afterward?
So-
Like sugar-free gummy bears. Amazon reviews. You ever read those? They just give people like straight up diarrhea. Like shoot it against the wall diarrhea.
Oh no!
Like 3 feet from the toilet.
It's so funny. Yeah.
So, if it's chocolate, bunch of crunch or a crunch bar, I just like it.
What is a bunch of crunch?
Like like the little like
Movie theater, like you get a box and it's like a crunch bar, but they're
all just
think
like
I've-
little
I
like.
don't know if
balls.
I've ever had those.
They're good, but you don't like chocolate, so it wouldn't really do well for you. Do you like crunch bars? Like
I
at least a little
I don't
bit.
know. I don't think
Okay, it's milk chocolate
Yeah.
with
bad start.
with
like-
crunch.
with crunch.
Crunch. There's crunch in
No,
it.
there's
Just
like,
like crunchy
I think
chocolate.
it's rice. I think it's like
Yeah, it's like a crackle.
rice bits in it.
I feel like I've probably
like
had
Rice
it at some point.
Krispies.
Have you
That's
ever
like
had a
what's in
crackle?
it.
It's a Hershey bar. Comes in a red wrapper.
I don't think so. Like
It was-
I really don't eat candy.
It was huge back
Okay,
in the
so-
70s when I was a kid.
Shaq used to be their spokesperson.
For crackle?
Does that help?
Oh, for Bunch of Crunch.
Bunch of crunch or crunch at all. Whatever. If it's chocolate, it's that. anything outside of that, it's Sour Patch Kids. It's just better.
Sour Patch is also my wife's favorite candy, and that made me start to love them about 5 years ago too.
Aw. Aw.
Yeah. Anyway, they're great.
Guys.
But I also wanted to ask, do you all get into the Halloween themed cereals? Count Chocula or anything?
Okay.
'Cause I've never had any of them.
What?
That I can remember.
I do not eat cereal. You can vouch for this. I can't.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that. I almost didn't, but sure.
I don't eat cereal. Like I physically
just not
like
a fan.
Witness.
No, I don't like it. It makes my tummy hurt. It's way too sweet. It's an awful breakfast thing.
You just use tummy. Again.
However, Boo Berry Crunch is amazing.
That started inappropriate.
Boo Berry and Frankenberry cereals are absolutely
What
amazing.
is Boo Berry? Like, what's the original?
Yeah, is it? They're all based on something, right? Isn't one of them
I don't think so.
One of them's like a Lucky Charms knockoff, though.
They're all kind of Lucky Charms knockoffs.
Right,
I mean,
so
it's
evil
like
Lucky Charms.
It's the same concept. There's little marshmallows and
Like, who makes it?
I don't know, General Mills, whoever makes all the cereals, Kellogg. I'm not sure.
Oh, so it's not like a version of like Captain Crunch.
No, it's just a cereal, but you can only buy it like seasonally.
Gotcha. But it's not like...
And there's also Count Chocula, but which I obviously don't like. But Boo Berry and Frankenberry are insane. So good.
Wow.
This is the only time of the year I eat cereal.
I'm surprised you don't like... I think it's Captain Crunch Berry.
I do like Captain Crunch berries, but if I eat one bowl of them, like I'm sick for like a couple hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I can't eat sweet things like at all.
Will you share real quick? You're the one who's allergic to bananas, right?
That's true.
Or like every fruit?
No, not every fruit. Just random.
But were you the one that was like, I love the taste of bananas, but the worst part is how it like burns your throat when you eat them? Or was that somebody
Chase.
else? Oh,
Yeah.
Chase.
Dude, he ate a banana this year at camp. And
No, that was last year.
Oh, was that last year? He was down for like a day.
I remember that's the last camp I went to.
He couldn't even eat
we
worship.
were all there.
Right?
Okay.
I think he wanted to get out of that session.
I don't know if he could. I don't know if he did or didn't. I can't remember that. But we were all at that camp. It was your last one.
Mm-hmm. Until next year.
Are you going back next year?
Stay tuned. I don't know yet. Gotcha. It's Halloween. Woo.
I will be surprised if I go. If you guys don't go, I'm for sure not going. But I'll be surprised if I go just from the standpoint of I don't know if they'll contract me again. But I don't know why I'm saying this on the podcast.
I plan on going every year for the rest of my life. Like that's how much I love
I'm
this
not
camp.
against going. I'm trying to say it's up to them.
We should probably discuss this later.
Right. So, but Asher...
I want to grow old with those kids. They're my little kids. So weird.
At the 2016 camp, we did that rave, and Asher played. I think it was "Shut Up and Dance."
Shut Up and Dance.
It was
with me.
Oh my gosh!
I say you're holding
off
back.
The cuff.
You said "Shut Up and Dance."
It was off the cuff, and it was absolutely amazing. In fact, actually, if
No, you said I'm holding back.
Right.
And I said shut up and dance with me.
She said, wait.
He said, she said.
This is awful for the podcast.
Can we have some sort of structure and get to the next thing?
The best feedback. Yeah, this is all your fault. You talked about going to a camp that no one knows about. Like 300 people is kind of a lot. 300 people know about.
Am I supposed to only talk about things that people know about?
Yeah, I would like a broader reach than the kids and leaders who went to a camp. All right, let's talk about sports. I want to know what these letters mean.
Tennessee and Kentucky are playing football this weekend.
There's no mystery left in the world, people.
So Kentucky's only beaten Tennessee once in the last 32 years in football. Once. And it was like 4 years ago, I believe. And this is the first time, I think, in that whole 32-year period that Kentucky's ever opened as a favorite over Tennessee. So this is a pretty big deal.
I agree.
Good. It's true.
Oh, okay.
And last weekend, we opened as a 5.5 point favorite over Tennessee, which is pretty weird that even happened. But
is that out of 10?
No. That means we're projected to win by at least 5.5 points. If you were a betting man, you would. That's a good odd.
No, listen. If I was a betting man, I would sell mattresses. I mean, come on.
Thanks.
So I definitely
Thank you guys.
don't.
This is it.
I definitely don't understand how sports rankings work. So this 5.5
has nothing
thing
to do with rankings. Not even a little bit.
Okay. You can explain it to me later.
I don't know if you're trolling me, like just to be funny, or if you're being serious.
I'm not actually sure what trolling means, but so this game is happening, or it will have happened 2 days ago, and UT will likely not win.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Tennessee's playing pretty bad, and also Tennessee's best player is suspended for this game. He got arrested on Tuesday night. He got busted with
marijuana.
weed. So
yeah.
I just don't get that. Like,
you mean why he got arrested for it?
No, I don't understand why these kids would put their like careers in jeopardy for like, weed. Just stop it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It kind of seems like a
just childish
big risk with very little reward.
Yeah.
So doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I don't get it. But anyways, it doesn't matter if Tennessee is bad at football. If Kentucky wins this game, like it's a good win for Kentucky, for the fan base.
Yeah. Because of the history behind it.
Right.
Whereas like I feel like for Tennessee fans, it's going to be a big win even if Alabama was trash or Florida this year.
It's a rivalry game.
They're trash. And
Yikes.
Tennessee didn't win. But if they had, they would have still been big.
So
are you saying that Kentucky's going to win?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm also saying that.
Great.
Yeah, even Tennessee fans would be like, it's probably going to happen this year. That's how bad Tennessee's doing right now.
This has
Speaking
been-
for all the Auburn fans, and all the Auburn fans believe Kentucky's going to win.
Good Lord.
It's weird that
This
they're
has
even thinking
been
about it.
the sports sector. You're welcome, everyone.
I forgot to do Sports Zone.
Here's our projections.
Do it right now.
No, please don't. It's so loud.
Do it.
You are now leaving the Sports Zone.
Do we have more to talk about? I've texted you all through the week, and you're like, there's just not a lot going on in sports,
not
which
a lot
is
of sports going
mind-blowing
on.
to me because the
next
Olympics
week-
are coming up.
one cares.
There's always soccer happening year-round. There's always baseball year-round.
Don't care.
So I'm going to.
Tennis. Table tennis.
The Dodgers and the Astros are split
Racquetball.
1-1, right? In the World Series.
We're coming
I
up
hate
on
baseball. Like,
We're coming up.
hate
I don't
it.
really care about it. I cared about it a little bit last year just because it was history with the Cubs even being there. But it's back to normal because they're not there. So
Baseball's so weird because like one team could be incredible one year and then horrible the next year, but have no changeover in roster.
Yeah.
Makes absolutely zero sense. It's a stupid
unreal.
sport.
Well, it's just I don't know. I think that it seems to be kind of the only sport that way, or at least so drastically.
I feel like the rules of baseball are just like loosely thrown together. It's barely a game.
Well, that's why there's an ump. He can be like, I don't believe in outs this game. There's no outs. I don't believe in innings. We're just going to go for 4 hours. I know there's a minimum of 4 hours in baseball. Like that's the least amount of time a game can go.
At least 4 hours.
Well, if you can call it play. I know we're alienating all of our baseball fans here.
They have to be out there for 4 hours at least before they're going to be.
You don't have to be in great shape to play baseball.
True.
That's just a true statement.
You got to run sprints.
I'm saying but there are positions where like you don't have to be physically fit.
Yeah,
There are some
like the
pitchers
batter.
There are some pitchers.
that just.
You ever seen Bartolo Colon?
What are they eating that tobacco? I know. But yeah, all I can say is better wear sunscreen because you're just going to be standing out there for a long time. That's why they got those hats.
There's a reason that kids play in the dirt when they play baseball.
So
That's because it's more fun than whatever else is happening.
Actual baseball. Man, this sounds mean. You really feel that way about baseball, don't you?
Yeah, I really don't like it. I don't get it.
hey, let's
I think it's all right.
Let's switch this up. Kind of make a call right now.
Yeah. This in football, this would be an audible.
An audible.
Hey, yeah.
Nailed it.
You
Okay,
got to
so
hold. You have
once-
to hold Y
Yeah, that is actually the
for an
button.
audible
That's
in any football
wait,
game.
wait.
I know that
That's
for
X.
a fact.
X.
Son of a gun.
So
So
for
angry.
Xbox, but let's do Knoxville, and I want to add. I want to talk about John Mulaney, which is where I was last week. Okay, and then I want to also talk about something Lance said last week about Lord willing and the creek don't rise. So I want to talk about that now.
Okay, go for it.
That's your show.
Because we're done with sports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that means?
Lord willing and the creek don't rise.
Yeah.
And after
Break
Lance goes,
you get to go now.
I get to go.
You get to go next.
I mean, it just means like you want something to happen unless God wills it otherwise, or if the creek rises, then it's a flood and we all die.
Okay. Go ahead.
All I can say is I saw it on our Evernote yesterday for the first time.
Did you look it up?
Ever. Listen, I looked it up and I read the Wikipedia page for literally an hour.
Please don't.
Not actually.
Please
I don't know what it means.
You don't?
No, I read the Wikipedia page for so long and it didn't say anything about the statement. It was like, here's the origin of it. And then it went into like uses in history or something, but it never said what it meant.
Well, I know what it means.
Okay.
So, Ryan King's parents.
Is it appropriate?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are Ryan King's parents appropriate? Nope.
No.
They are very inappropriate.
If Steve
They have
and
been
Teresa
nothing but kind to me.
Steve and Teresa are the best.
Are the epitome of inappropriate, then I don't deserve to live because they're so sweet. So, they went to a 1800s like fair or something last weekend. Actually, Bree's family went while we were in Cincinnati. Bree's family went to that on the Friday, and then on last Saturday, Ryan's parents went. But we were leaving. We were leaving the house, and Teresa said, "Lord willing and the creek don't rise." And then Steve said, "Hey, what do you think that means?" And I said the exact same thing that you said, Lance. And he said, "That's actually
you might want
wrong."
something.
Do what?
Like you want something unless God wants something else for you.
Right. And the creek don't rise is like, well, if the creek rises because of a bad storm and it's flooded. So, because the creek don't rise, it's wrong.
Okay.
What it means.
So real quick, we're at 30 and we need to switch over. Can we leave everyone in suspense?
Yes.
For what the answer is?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Let's break. So, we're back.
And we're back.
Lance, are you back with us?
Lance, we're back.
He's just shaking his head no.
I checked out after that prank you guys played on me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
But anyways, go ahead and tell me
Hey,
how
Lance, for our listeners, Lance needs a sweet message from you to remind him that he's worth it or something.
Oh, wait.
Maybe it's
All
Maybelline.
of our listeners hate me.
Hey,
and you know why?
Actually,
I have proof behind this.
Okay.
I made it to the end of last episode because I'm a part of the podcast and I listened to every bit of it.
Right.
And you asked the fans to send in something nice about me. And we got no messages.
One.
Actually,
we got one.
I didn't get it. Who was it?
She only messaged us. Stay tuned. We'll tell you at the very end.
Oh, no. Okay,
just wait. Just
Lord
wait.
willing and the creek don't rise. What it actually means is Lord willing.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. That's straightforward. Creek don't rise is the Creek Indians rising up and taking back the land. So
that's a pretty racist thing that you said last week.
So it's like, so if we're talking and we're like, yeah, we'll go to have lunch next week, and you're like, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. It's kind of like saying like,
as long as we still
nothing
have our
else
freedom.
happens and the
And the
Indians
Native
don't
Americans
come
don't come and kill us.
That's what it means, and no one knows it because
That's funny.
the Creek Indians.
I would have never known that.
Yeah, because it also makes sense for the creek to rise and ruin your plans.
Right.
Because
How
back in the day,
strange.
that could have like flooded your house.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they also could be Indians coming to kill you. So,
Native Americans.
yeah, sure, okay. I'll admit I'm wrong. So,
Hey, just for the record, we did steal their land, and I don't think that's cool. Columbus Day's a sham.
Leif Erikson Day is the same day.
You know, a lot of American history is like just pretty wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong?
Yeah,
Well,
like the way it's taught, the way it's presented, the way people think about it. Like a lot of it is just completely false.
Yeah.
I just think we're spun in a better light than we should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think that has to be every country. That has to be every country. That we can't be the only ones
I don't know, but we're like
pillaging.
We're the most full of ourselves, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think everyone else is pillaged, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're also like the youngest country.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
By like a whole lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we relate to the game, so we had to make it interesting.
But definitely everyone's
We sure
pillaged. Everyone's pillaged someone, just like we pillaged your heart and soul and your well-being yesterday.
Yeah, it was awful. I didn't like it.
So that's what that means. I couldn't wait to tell you as soon as I heard it, because this is how it happened. I found out what that means. I'm driving to Bree's house, listening to last week's podcast, like just from Google Drive, so it hadn't like come out yet. But 30 minutes later, I hear you say that, and I almost texted you and told you, but I figured it'd be better to just tell you here.
I would have never known.
Yeah. And evidently the Wikipedia page is just not helpful.
It's just, that was on there somewhere. There's like a bunch of stuff about Indian tribes from back in the day, but it just confused me. Also, I skimmed it. I didn't like read it all in order, kind of jumped around. So that probably had a big
But you also
to-do.
think it's going to be at the very top.
Well, I hoped so. And then it wasn't, much to my chagrin. So I kind of skipped around the rest of it.
Okay.
It was very confusing.
What was the other thing you said?
John Mulaney.
Talk about it.
John Mulaney, who we all know and love.
Since you've made us wait so long.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Everybody that's listening, you're finding out at the same time as Asher and Lance.
Much to my chagrin.
Because I
last week when we
them,
recorded the episode, Logan was at Marshall's.
Yeah. So I wouldn't tell them until we did a podcast.
Marshall's the clothing store.
Not here with his friends recording their podcast. Marshall's.
You silly son of a gun.
He didn't even go to Walmart. Marshall's.
Why would he go to Walmart over
What were you buying?
Marshall's?
Youth medium soccer jerseys?
Hey, they have great deals there.
Yeah.
Buying off-brand Steve Madden boots?
I was buying
Bundles of
knockoff
socks?
I was buying knockoff USA soccer jerseys.
Poorly designed suitcases?
I was buying a car charger for my phone that'll break in a week.
Yeah, I was about to say headphones that work for 1 week.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm not bitter about it. Go
You're
ahead.
very bitter today in general.
Guys, I'm fine. It's great.
I guess
Talk about John Mulaney.
I'm gonna have to own
You still
it.
remember being at the show? It was a while ago.
So did John Mulaney do Kid Gorgeous?
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm,
I saw that this year too. Yeah, like
You've
2 months ago. No,
you've
in
seen-
June.
What?
He
In
was
June,
here, in
Lindsay and I
Knoxville.
went.
What?
I said in
It's
June,
same-
Lindsay and I went. Trying to say it the same way twice.
So you've seen this show.
Just in case. Yeah. I waited to tell you because this
I'm
was going to be so much fun.
I am so happy that you've seen it.
I was hoping you'd be mad.
Me too.
No, I want you guys. If you guys could have been there with Bree and I, it would have only made me ecstatic. So I want you guys to experience these things.
Ecstatic.
So the fact that you've seen it, I knew that. What did I say that wrong?
No.
You just
I don't
didn't
think
really
so.
pronounce the C of ecstatic.
Ecstatic.
And it was like,
Did it sound like
you're
ecstatic?
ecstatic.
Static Shock.
I'm a static shock, like this knockoff superhero that used to show on WB.
Static X.
So
R.I.P. Wayne Static. Love him. Loved him.
I'm actually very happy that you've seen it.
How did he do that with his hair? Okay, John Mulaney.
So you saw it in June.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know that he was even coming here until like it was like the day before or something. I think you told me, Lance.
The cool thing, too, to plug Knoxville a little bit, he was going to be at the Bijou, and within 1 week, we got an email that, like, it sold out so fast, it had to be at the Tennessee Theater. So we got 2 rows closer at the Tennessee Theater, which he made a bunch of funny jokes about it being in, like, this Spanish design.
Yeah.
Like what better American thing in Knoxville than this Spanish looking design theater with these weird like emblems and things all over it.
That's really funny.
But yeah, we got better seats and it was a better theater and everything.
So Bree absolutely just blew me away with like my birthday, just as a whole. But then
I already shouted her out. You don't have to.
So then she bought us tickets on like the 10th row.
Oh, cool.
Like we were super close. And enough for me to look at him and be like, he looks different.
High. He looks high.
I didn't think he looked high, but like he looked like not weird, but like, you know, it just like that's not how I remember him from like his specials.
Oh, okay.
But
what was different? Was he a little bigger?
No, he looked older.
Yeah.
He looked like his age. Because he usually looks like
he's only like
really
3 years
young.
older than me.
No, he's like
34 maybe? That's only 5 years older than me.
he's 36.
Okay.
But he's
not 36.
Are you sure?
Fact check. I'm fact checking.
How was the
Just
show?
keep talking about the show.
So he opened, talked about he talked about the theater. The theater was massive. It's in the middle of Cincinnati,
So what was his hair like?
and it was just huge. He sold it out, but great show, hilarious. I have my favorite joke of his is the closing joke of New in Town.
The Xanax story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's hard to beat that. Beats working.
Yeah,
And
it is.
And he did like a similar feel of a joke, right? He did that with Comeback Kid too. Like the setup and the delivery and everything.
Yeah, he likes to like tell a big long story.
Yeah, but he
This one was worth it too. It was really good.
the show was. I don't really want to like say anything like specific, but like all in all, the show is great. It is up there like with New in Town for me. All three of his. He has three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including
The one you just saw is the fourth one.
Yeah.
Okay, all four of his.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen
The top part.
The first one is just on YouTube. It's not an actual like live.
I've only listened to it. I've never watched it.
I've never,
special.
unless it was with you, I've never listened or seen it.
You've
This is the
listened to
one
some of it with me.
where he talks about
But
being at
this
the
is the
diner.
second time we've had this conversation.
I'm really bad with memory.
I was like, the top part. You're like, I've never listened to it.
And then you told me a
then
joke
we
from
listened
it,
to it.
and then I was like, oh.
And
I've
then
listened
now
to
we're
this.
having the same conversation where you didn't listen to it.
Right. Okay. So I've listened to it. Then it's definitely up there with.
That's the one that the Salt and Pepper Diner story is from.
I literally just said that.
I'm sorry.
You guys never listen to me. I don't have any true friends. So for anyone out there who wants to be my true friend.
Okay. So the show was phenomenal, up there on par with everything else. Would go see it again like today. And it was just great. As soon as it comes out, you have to see it. Or if there was a show, there's not, that's remotely close that you and Laurel could go to, then go. But
We tried to go to the one in Asheville, but we couldn't make it work. So
gotcha.
Great name for a city, by the way. So you liked it.
But yeah, at one point, this is such a John Mulaney thing, and this won't be like, you won't see this anywhere else because it was only at Cincinnati. So, evidently he got his start in Cincinnati, or he one of his first tours as a comedian, on a circuit, was in Cincinnati at some club, and he loved it. Told a lot of stuff that I'm sure if I was from Cincinnati, I'd be like, oh, that's really cool, but it didn't make any sense.
Inside joke, Cincinnati joke.
Kinda.
Okay.
So then, in the middle of the set, two guys get up and they're on the third row, just stand up and walk out.
Wait a minute. Keep going.
No way.
A guy got up in the Tennessee one, and he did a really funny bit with it.
Oh no,
Is
that's
it
gonna make me so
staged?
mad. That's gonna make me
you
so
mean
mad.
comedians are funny in different cities?
So they get up And
I just don't want it to be like contrived. Anyway,
right?
going.
Yeah, you don't want this to be fake because it seemed so like off the cuff.
He does the same set every night.
Yeah, but
it's all fake.
But he did off the cuff like Knoxville specific stuff, and he talked about how every restaurant serves the best barbecue in the world in Knoxville. So I just imagine, since he set it up that way, that this part, which I have a sinking feeling that it was probably the exact same thing.
Ugh.
But maybe they did just get up. Anyway, how did the
he got up, or they got up and they're walking out, and he's like, "Well, there's nothing weird about that." And he's like, or he said, "Where are you guys going?" Except he used an explicative. And so he said, "Where do you guys think you're going?" And explicative, did I say that wrong?
Expletive.
I don't know. Explicative.
I thought I pooped my pants.
Expletive.
I can feel
the camera
burning in my body.
The camera's not really getting the full effect of Lance's face. I think he died for a second and came back to life.
I was searching the depths of my brain for what that word was. Explicative.
I don't know.
Excalibur. Expletive.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Dang, you're hilarious. So, sorry. I'm not great at English. It's my second language. Kill me. So, so then those guys, like, you can't hear them because everybody's laughing. And they say something back, and he's like, no. There's nothing weird about two guys going to the bathroom in the middle of a comedy show. Like, you guys paid to come here, but go to the bathroom. Sure, it's fine. And just like roasted him. And so he's like, seriously, go on. And so like he's done with them. They leave, and then he goes, okay, can they hear me out in the lobby? And he's looking at somebody. This is killing me. Yeah. So he's looking at somebody.
I just can't believe this.
He's looking at somebody, and evidently they said yes. So he unplugs the XLR from the mic, and he starts yelling, and he's like, can you guys hear me? And everybody's like, yeah. And he's like, okay. So while they're gone, or some later in the show,
can I make a stab at the punchline?
Yeah.
Once you get to it?
Yeah.
Did he tell everyone?
Hang on. So later on the show,
I have already heard this story, though, from Asher. Me. So,
well, this is for the listeners.
For the listeners.
So, much later on in the show, I'm going to say, oh, man, I'm having a great time tonight. But you know what they say in Cincinnati?
Let's all go get milkshakes.
It was, we want milkshakes.
Oh, okay.
And that makes me so mad. I am debating on whether I should even tell Bree that, because she would be very upset.
And she doesn't listen to the podcast, so she won't know.
Yeah.
Why, though? It's funny either way.
I think it's
still funny, but like...
Why are you so upset about it?
The part that would make me upset is if those people were planted. And I don't think they are. So I'm way more okay with it.
Maybe he just does that if someone gets up. Then he's got a joke for like
logical
that.
To assume.
That's better than thinking he's like, here are 2 tickets,
for every show.
Stand up at some point.
Maybe they're with him.
My God.
But that was 2 people, and he made jokes about them going to the bathroom. Ours was just one person on the front row who left on a phone call, and he was like, so it was a little different. And he was like, hey, what are you doing? And the guy was like, it's an emergency. He was like, yeah, okay. It was like a really short thing. He was like, seriously, I hope everything's okay. And then he left, unplugged the XLR, and did the whole thing.
Wow. Well, it was really funny. It was more funny whenever it actually happened, because it happened way later in the set than I thought it was going to, like really late. And everybody yelled it. And it was funny because these guys, like, because we were close enough to them to watch them look at each other like, what in the world? Because whenever a room full of people chant, we want milkshakes, in response to, you know what they say in Cincinnati, you're like,
what did I miss?
Yeah. And so
really funny.
He immediately told him, he was like, obviously this happened while you guys were gone. And
That's
he's like,
funny,
and that's why you don't leave.
Because when it happened in Knoxville, he pointed at that one guy who got up with the emergency phone call. He said, another explicative. He was like, look at this. And then, because he's the one guy that didn't say it.
That's funny.
Okay, so, that's different enough for me. I just want to believe that they weren't like planted or something.
Yeah, that's what I didn't.
Nothing is real.
Want.
That's cool.
But
all in all,
phenomenal show. Like, I can't wait for it to come out. I'm wondering where he's doing the recording of that.
I don't know, because he's in New York and Chicago. Maybe he'll do Cincinnati.
No, there was no cameras.
Not that you saw.
Ooh.
Nothing is real. It's Halloween. Also, didn't he do like a whole hour and a half set? Like it was long, right?
Yeah.
Ours was an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
So he had an opener who was not funny.
Yep.
And like not at all.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same opener.
I don't know.
Did he tell a story about his
wife? I
wife?
really don't remember. He didn't have a wife.
Okay, never mind. So, yeah, great show. If you are in some area that you can go see him, then please go do that. Actually, like comedy as a whole, go see comedy shows. Like they're not terribly expensive unless you just go to like the biggest names. But it's always a good time because you go there like to laugh. So
that's not always true. I went there to not laugh, and I ended up pleasantly surprised. It was a great experience.
Depends on what kind of experience you want.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it was great. If you're not in an area to do that, then just listen to some shows. Send us a message. We'll give you some recommendations. Between the three of us, I feel like we could probably give some pretty good insight to that.
It's a lot of the same, but you all like some comedians that I don't think are funny at all.
Yeah, but you also, you talking about Roy Scovel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's so funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
I just didn't like it.
So I guess that's leading us into
Halloween's
spirituality.
Hate it.
Nailed it.
Hate it.
Thanks for setting that one in my lap.
If you wanted to get me back for pranking you yesterday, you do it every time. Singing that. I hate it.
I don't want to get you back.
Hate you.
So you don't want to be our friends anymore?
Okay, like so we're all three white Christian males in this room. So we're going to talk about how Christians should approach Halloween, because here in the South, everyone has a different take on it. Everyone dresses up as something different and tricks and treats and all that. So
yeah.
Real quick though, before we do that, are you all dressing up for Halloween? I haven't dressed up for Halloween in 25 years, probably. I don't get into it.
I'm thinking about it.
So it just depends. It depends because we have, which I'm sure you're invited to this. We have a gathering that we're going to.
No thanks.
Yeah, you're coming now, and so
not going to dress up.
I have tentative plans for Halloween, so I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Is there candy there?
Either.
I don't. So,
anyway, what would you go as?
I don't know.
I had an idea yesterday that I meant to tell Laurel about, and I forgot. But I think it'd be funny if we dressed up as gender roles, but we were like dinner roles. And I just had like the male logo, and she had the female logo. We could be gender roles.
But you're like a croissant, or something, with some sweet buttery dip with you.
Some sweet buttery dip.
You just like stick your head in. It's like the punch bowl.
I thought gender roles was pretty funny. I think that'd be fun.
It's pretty funny for sure.
I have not even thought about it. I'm not against the idea.
What, of dressing up?
Yeah, but I've not even
or Halloween
thought
in
about
general.
Dressing up, because you asked that question.
I remember. I forgot already. I remember going as Peter Pan when I was a young lad.
Yep.
I looked great, and then I was a train. My sister and I were both like trains, made out of boxes.
Train,
and just
the
put
air
them on
conditioning
ourselves.
unit, the company train.
No,
like you can't stop a train.
No,
I think that's a better costume than going
You
as
just
like
made that up.
Want to?
What?
It was like you. There's no company with that slogan.
Yeah, yeah, they make air conditioners.
Slogan. So
You should be a slogan.
you should be a slogan. Just put put an S.
Be hilarious.
Or just don't enjoy your life.
Put an S on your chest and see if anybody gets it. I'm a slogan.
That sounds terrible.
When I was in 5th grade, my mom let me dress up as a princess for Halloween. And I still to this day am unsure about whether or not that was okay.
Are there pictures?
Yeah. I'll find.
Will you post them, please?
Yes, I will.
Onto the
If I can
Facebook?
find the picture.
If I can find them too, I will.
I think I have it on my phone, but I have like 3,000 pictures now, and it's awful.
You know what? I don't think I was Peter Pan. I think I was Robin Hood.
Oh,
That's way different.
yeah.
There were still tights involved, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, similar outfit.
Look,
I was very young.
right there. Train. It's hard to stop a train.
Spelled wrong.
Yeah. It's a play on words.
Man,
Anyways,
they goofed big time.
I don't know if it's that I'm like more removed from the conversation or if it's just if it has just kind of like ceased. But like I haven't heard anybody debate like Halloween in like a long, long time. But when I was a kid, it was a really hot conversation.
Yeah.
Because
I think that it's just, personally, I think it's still happening. I think that there are moms out there that still have a big problem with it.
Only moms. The dads are like, it's okay.
Probably.
well, but I never understood why Halloween was treated differently than any other holiday. Because like Christmas, like we don't know what day Jesus was born.
Yeah. Not even.
You can't even ballpark it. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you can try, but you don't know.
No.
It's the 25th.
Yeah, it's not probably.
Okay, it might be the 24th,
You
but it's
have
definitely one of those
You have
two.
a 1 and however many days there are in a year chance of getting that right.
365?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to account for leap year, but yeah,
that's pretty good odds.
5 and a fourth.
that's horrible odds. Nobody knows. Thanksgiving, are we sure that it actually happened on that day? I'm asking.
No.
I don't know.
I think it, I'm pretty sure it didn't.
I don't think. Yeah, I remember feeling like somebody told me it didn't. Easter.
No, Easter, I think, is at least really close.
Easter's the one where
Because there's
people
some-
admit that they don't know because it's like a different week every year.
Yeah, but it's because it was like a moon. I don't know if I want to say that without like being
Cow.
entirely
Moo.
sure. Okay, disclaimer. This is completely a hunch. I'm not at all like speaking with any whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not-
yeah.
Whatever. It's
We know
not
that's kind of normal.
100% true.
So far.
So, what I believe I remember is that it was like some part in the moon cycle or whatever, like however they told like
Blue
time,
moon?
huh? Or not, or like the sea, or
Blood moon?
Harvest moon.
Waning crescent.
Waxing.
Waxing gibbous. I actually know a lot about
if
moon
you're
cycles.
listening to this and not watching it,
But
go watch it and find the part and see how disappointed I got whenever they just overpowered me with moons.
Actually, I overpowered you with the moons. Sailor Moon. That was great.
I was allowed
Toonami,
to watch it.
1997. You all were
Point
3
being, I
years old.
believe that it has something to do with like, there was some way to ballpark it based off like when they said he died. But because the moon cycle is not always the same, or it's the same, but it doesn't always fall the same on the same day. That's why it puts it somewhere in between.
Gotcha.
These like two different parts, but always in the same season because the moon is always that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. That could be completely wrong. If you know the answer to that, I would love to hear the real answer. That's just what I feel like I heard one time.
Either way, my point eventually was going to be like, I mean, like, Halloween is just like, if for our generation, it's just a night where you dress up and get candy.
Right.
Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, there's no.
I understand that like Halloween was originally based on like a pagan tradition or whatever, and there was like witches involved, and maybe they were putting stuff in their stew. I don't know, but like I'm not 100% sure how like me dressing up and getting candy is like in any way related to those activities.
Yeah.
Well,
at all.
The original All Hallows Eve, as it was called, was supposed to be a way to like fight against demonic forces.
Really?
As far as I remember.
Yeah.
I remember learning about it like growing up in school, but fact check me on that. I would love to know if that's incorrect because I'm pretty sure like none of it was supposed to be evil, even from the get-go.
Huh.
And I think the fact that like American churches have put so much evil on it is a little misinformed, to say the least.
Why do you think that happened?
Because someone dressed up with a bifurcated tail and a hay fork in all red with some horns on their head, and they were like, "That's what a devil looks like," and that's bad.
So to answer the question, how should Christians treat it?
Mm-hmm.
If I just put my belief out there,
Sure.
Let your kid dress up and go get some candy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, like just have fun with it. Like I don't think that you're supporting anything different than you like celebrating July 4th. Like
Yeah. I think churches should treat Halloween like they would anything else and just use it as a way to engage their community.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
If you're afraid of what people are doing on October 31st at 9 p.m., like host something at your church and invite people to come.
Yeah.
Do something about it instead of just saying that's bad because I don't know what it is.
Right.
And then
Yeah, it just kind of
No one can
seems it seems like the wrong way to handle it by like turning off your light and like turning off your porch light or whatever and just like sitting in your house and like saying I'm not going to acknowledge it.
So that happened last year. We had candy here and the porch light was off because I've never lived in a neighborhood before last year. I didn't know you were supposed to keep your porch light on. It makes a ton of sense, by the way. Like, it's a little more inviting to walk up to someone's door that has all of their outside lights on, but ours were not. So no one came to our door, and I was like, man, like I kind of wanted to give out some candy or meet a couple of the neighbors, but nobody came by. And Lindsay was like, our porch light's not on, you idiot. She didn't say you idiot, but I felt dumb. It was pretty funny.
That is funny.
I feel like I don't want to go through the hassle of opening and closing my door 1,000 times and handing out candy. Like that sounds awful.
With that said, though, what we've encouraged people to do at One Life, and this was because some people, this wasn't like One Life telling people to do it and then they did it. Some people were already like roasting hot dogs or grilling out like in their driveway in their neighborhood and like giving them out to people. And that was more of a, people could hang out and you could actually start up a conversation rather than here's some candy, get the heck away from my yard,
Right.
So
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I remember that now. I remember that from One Life being a thing. Just I don't know. The whole war on Halloween from like Southern Christianity just seems completely, one, misinformed, and two, it seems to be just like blindly agreed with.
Right.
Like nobody seems to have an actual developed opinion other than whatever they've heard from whomever, you know?
Yeah. So
That's dangerous too. Like
absolutely.
like that mentality is dangerous with anything.
Yeah.
You just assume everything you hear from somebody is true and never form your own opinion about it, then like we're done.
Yeah.
Hey, quick segue, but we'll get right back to it. We did hit another 30, so I want to make sure our video is working well. So we will take just a short break. We'll hit you with a little bit more of a hot take of Halloween, and then we'll get out of here.
True.
And we're back with a little Halloween hot take is what we call this section. We'll only do that once a year, but every time it will be called Halloween hot cakes. Hot cake.
I like that. I'm hungry.
All right. So I think if I had to sum it up in just a couple of points, for me, I think Halloween has been misconstrued because I'm pretty sure, man, you should really fact check this. I'm pretty sure it was originally a way to fight against evil, or to kind of get away from it or whatever. It wasn't meant to be like a summon the devil kind of on October 31st holiday. So I think it's misconstrued. I think, just like Lance said, you could use it as an opportunity to meet some neighbors or have a party and have some people over, talk to them about Jesus.
Do not pass out tracts at Halloween.
Yeah.
Don't you do it.
Don't pass out your new rap album.
Like the little things that say like how to get saved on them.
Oh gosh.
Don't do that.
The $1 million bill.
Whenever I used to serve food, I would watch people that could at least potentially be open to the idea of like a creator. No, just a creator.
Uh-huh.
Like agnostic people that are like, I don't think that there's a God, but I also see how it could work.
Right. And you're saying that's the worst thing you could possibly do for that person?
Yes, absolutely. The worst
Especially
thing
if
that
you
you
don't
can do,
actually leave a tip. You
Yeah.
just leave it instead.
the worst thing that you can do is like piss them off by leaving that and like some semblance of a tip or not one. They start to group you as like a really bad type of person.
Right.
And you may mean very well. I'm sure that those people mean, and a lot of times, just to be honest, it was always like elderly people. And it was always on, like, I never worked a Sunday, but I know it. I would come in on Monday and there'd be a stack, like back in the back where we like put in orders.
Dang.
And people, nobody reads them. None of the servers read them.
No.
Nobody, you may have been about to say this, and I'll say it. I'll be the whipping boy.
No.
I would be surprised if anybody has been saved that way.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say I would agree with that wholeheartedly. I was going to say I think it is misinformed if you're, or no, what did you say about being misinformed and having good intentions?
You may.
That's what it was. I think being misinformed is not having good intentions because you don't care enough to actually like ask the person what they think.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Man, that hurt my brain.
Jesus.
I'll be here all week. I'm leaving now, though.
Jesus went places and talked to people. Like that should be our model. You know, like if we want to make a difference in somebody's life, we need to like engage in conversation with them. And most time, like 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to be the thing that you lead with in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So like, to me, passing out a tract to somebody that you're not going to talk to is almost cowardly in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're not willing to put in any work to like help that person, you know?
So my whole belief, because I've thought about this like a lot, just from like having been in the restaurant industry and watched hundreds of these things come through, and just they're thrown away. So it's pretty much just to make this person feel good whenever they leave it. Like, I'm sharing Jesus with people. Well, you're not, because
it's a piece of paper.
I think that it burns me up because you are supposed to, as a Christian, like we are supposed to show Christ to people. So, however, like you see fit, I guess that's up to you. But like all in all, like you're supposed to show Christ to people, and I think the best way to do that is how like Christ like did relationships with other people,
because he's not here physically.
Right.
You can't parade him around to people.
Right. But
only through your actions.
So
and reactions.
Whatever you do, you're going to share some sort of piece about either Christ or about Christianity in whatever you do. So if you leave a piece of paper, what you're teaching that person is
to leave a piece of paper. Or not.
You're making it really hard today. Like really hard. So I think that you're teaching that person that that's like what Christianity is, this very distant, arrogant, like
something that you probably barely believe in because you're just leaving a piece of paper.
Yeah. And I just don't think that that's at all a good way to like present Christ to people.
Yeah.
I would rather people not do that and not claim Christianity before do that and turn someone off nearly immediately, because I don't know how many times I heard like, man, I hate working Sunday mornings. Why? Well, the people are just terrible. And it's all church people. And they will say it's church people that come in after church and order whatever, run you to death. It's all old people. And then they tip you nothing. And then say, Jesus loves you.
That's right.
And those people now, whenever, because they know me, and they knew that at the time I was volunteering at Faith Promise. I wasn't on staff. And it was like, I also hated to hear this, and this is not me bragging, but like, I hated for people to say to me, like, oh, you're like one of the coolest Christians I know. And it's like, that burns me up.
Yeah.
Because
it sucks that that's even a thing people can say.
Yeah. because
we should all be cool.
Yeah, and pass out candy. Just
no, it's just we've done such a poor job of representing Christ that now we have a negative connotation. When you say I'm a Christian, they immediately think, stop judging me.
Yeah.
Or like, you think you're better than me.
Right.
And that's the exact opposite of how Jesus interacted with people. He made everybody feel loved and accepted. And I just don't feel like, at least here in this region, that's not how Christians in the church are perceived.
Right.
Yeah. That's tough.
So bottom line, tip well, tip more generously. If you're a Christian, you're called to be generous.
Really
so
and
tip
truly.
Better.
Yeah.
Lead the example.
Really and truly, I agree with that. But the American government should make restaurants pay a living wage, and tipping can be abolished. Because nearly every other country, tipping is like not expected. You can do it, but it is not expected.
You just get paid.
That would be like going to Walmart and tipping the cashier. And they're like, why? And that's just how it should be. There's no reason for me to leave my living wage up to the people that may or may not come through the door. Or I may get somebody on a bad day, or somebody that really just needs to eat but doesn't have the money to tip, so they just eat. And that's fine, but I shouldn't have to pay for that. Like I shouldn't see less money because somebody was rude to me and was having a bad day. That just doesn't seem fair. But whatever. So
anyway, Halloween.
I looked up the origin of Halloween. So it's actually pronounced it's spelled Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain.
Samhain.
It's a Gaelic festival marking the end of harvest season and beginning of winter, or the darker half of the year. Traditionally, it is celebrated from October 31st to November 1st as the Celtic begin and end.
So only in Boston?
Of sunset. That's a weird way to say it. Huh?
Samhain. Did you, they had some wood outside and they were like, it's October 31st, we've been Samhain.
So it's, this is about halfway. It's about halfway between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. It is one of the 4 Gaelic seasonal festivals, along with
picking you up.
Other stuff. Sorry. And pretty much it's just a festival. It seems like it started as a festival to mark the end of a harvest season. And
then somehow we got witches and demons and black cats.
Yeah, go look it up on your own, but the whole All Hallows Eve happened at some point, and I'm like, this is the 3rd time I've said it, so if I'm wrong, I'm a real idiot.
No,
but I'm pretty sure
right,
it's like
but this was
anti-spirit.
So from reading this Wikipedia
demons.
page, assuming that it's right, it seems like it was a festival, and then there are Celtic pagan origins that like took this festival time and started doing some rituals.
Oh, so they really did. Okay.
And then and like you said with All Hallows Eve, this was All Hallows Eve was the response to those like pagan rituals that was happening at Samhain. But Samhain's origins were, it's not Halloween, but it's just the exact same time. Or like that's where it came from, and then it derived off to something else. So at least that's how I understand it.
Yeah. So let your kids dress up.
Yeah.
Pass out candy. And like you should do in any other portion of your life, just be a friend and be involved.
Yeah. And I think you said it really well. Use it as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're concerned about it, then be productive. Don't complain and not be productive.
Yeah. So
it's a bad society.
Knoxville. I actually don't have anything for Knoxville.
I think we were just going to plug Adam's pledge drive and then get out of here.
There's only what, like
2 weeks, maybe? I think it's less than 2 weeks now.
He tagged us in something, and I think it was like 14 days left on.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so when this airs, I think we'll have about 10 days left.
Cool.
So, but what we're talking about, and the song that you're hearing right now, it's a song by Adam Whipple, and he's got a pledge drive going on at pledgemusic.com/projects/Adam Whipple, where you can go and give some money and get some really cool stuff for his album that's coming out soon called The Broken Seasons. It's a folk rock adventure. I like to call it an extravaganza because I am an extravagant person, as you all know. But if you give different amounts, you can get all access passes to a pre-release. Basically, you can get an early release, signed CDs, digital downloads, wallpapers. You can even get a private concert in your own living room.
I'm trying to win that.
And I just want you, it's not a raffle. You give a certain amount of money.
I'm trying to win it.
Okay, yeah.
Wait,
So
he will come to my living room and it'll be just me and him.
it could be. I think the idea would be to have at least one other person there.
It won't matter because I'm going to win it.
I want it. And it's just going to be me and him. But I'm not going to pay attention to him. I'm going to continue to clean my house while he plays music.
Oh, gosh.
That's so mean.
I'm just playing. Adam, if you listen to this, if I win or whatever, however I do it, give you enough money that you'll come play for me privately, I'll make sure that there are so many people there helping me clean my house.
You're really screwing up the whole donation system.
Get in on
for
this,
a
folks.
raffle.
Absolutely. For real, okay, is the song still playing?
It's still playing. It's
Okay.
called Chain of Ohio.
It is really good. This is a good thing to me. It gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like he gave us access to more songs, but
the
I'm
whole
not
album
listening-
for us.
I'm not
It's really
listening
cool.
to it.
This one's cool though. Chain of Ohio will be the first one on the album.
I have listened to this song.
Yeah.
And went and specifically listened
Like
to
the
it
whole
on
thing.
purpose. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So pledgemusic.com
/projects
projects
/Adam Whipple.
/Adam Whipple.
You don't have to type those twice.
Yeah.
Even though we said it twice.
So check it out. Got a couple days left to get this rolling.
Yeah. And he's close, right?
He's local. Yeah.
But-
He's Knoxville. He's got
Yeah.
a big beard. He's got a nice beard. He plays a
support
whistle.
Knoxville music. And also, this will have already happened by the
Yeah,
time
the
it
Boys
comes
of Shirt
out.
show. I forgot to shout it out last week, so
Dang.
that's my
So
fault.
if you
but
missed it, it was yesterday.
It was
Boys with
yesterday,
Shirts
and
at
it
the
was,
open
It was
chord.
great. It was
Dude,
great.
it was so good.
Yeah.
dang,
Are
we'll
you going to
see.
be there? Are you playing?
I'm playing it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bree and I are coming.
I mean, I played
We're
it.
excited.
I played it yesterday.
Great. So you did play it.
Blowing
And
my brain.
Gosh. Okay, the feel that you had during Clever Lyrics.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
All right, and
didn't
we're
realize
off.
the song.
All right.
And
well,
here we go.
I got to get out of here soon. So thank you for listening to this episode. Let us know what you think. If you have ideas for future topics, let us know.
You're engaged by the time this comes out, right? Do we shout out the fact that you're engaged?
I was engaged last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm an engaged man to be married.
Sorry,
to
ladies.
my betrothed. So
Sorry, ladies,
I
he's
cannot
taken.
believe that we're engaged.
no.
Sorry, fellas.
Yeah, no.
No, not me and you.
Hey, real quick. No one makes it to the end of the podcast except one lady, Reagan Geyer,
Yeah.
said that you are a genuinely sweet person.
That's
what
her
she said
favorite thing
about you.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very sweet. Thank you, Reagan.
She only messaged us about it, which I
Why?
also thought was funny.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ask her yourself,
Why
I
not
don't know.
these are words?
Oh, man. So thanks for stopping in. You can follow us on social media at These Are Words, sometimes with a Z and sometimes with an S, depending on which platform you're using.
That's with Instagram.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at Lance J. Asher. I'm not going to shout out any other you guys, but
Please don't.
Oh, you guys got my handle right.
yeah, I know.
It's
'Cause
Logan
I'm
Hankins.
your best
_
friend. Logan Hankins _ and Ash Drums 82588.
No, on
that
Instagram
it?
it's just Asher.
No, just don't shout me out.
All right.
Look up Ash Drums.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me
Ash-
twice.
Fool me twice.
Ash.
The actual quote
Drums.
from W that I remember was "Fool me once, shame on me," and then he
No, he said-
"Stop,
he said-
stop," and then he said, "Fool me twice, just don't fool me."
No, that's not how it happened.
Yeah, it was. I swear it was.
He said, "Fool me once, shame on me.
Mm-hmm.
Fool me twice, well, fool can't be fooled again."
That's even better.
Old W. Oh, hey, by the way, follow up on last week really quickly. The JFK files were released. However, several thousand of them were kept for further review. But it was
course.
like 2,800 documents that were released.
But I thought there was 32,000. Wow. So there's a lot.
So
we're not gonna
there's a
find
lot of
anything
stuff
out.
to sift through, apparently. Well, I mean, some
Someone's
stuff is
reading
out.
it.
Yeah, someone's reading it. I don't know. They are out. Like, you can get them. I don't know how, but you can do it. So,
But
Conspiracy.
yeah.
There-
If anybody reads those documents, just let me know so I don't have to do it. And
Yeah,
then,
I'll believe anything you
be
say.
better for it. So,
I hope something big comes out, but I just don't think that the government would let that happen.
Right. Well, it's the end.
yeah, these have been some words, and there will be more words next week. So stay tuned, and thanks for stopping by.
The
All right.
story's old, but it goes on.
See
if
ya,
you
Joe.
know what song that's from, send me a message.
Completely disorienting.
What?
All right.
I hope he heard that.
Well, see you, Lance.
You had a great show last night, dude.
We can cut it before this,
Thanks.
but we won't.